All right, all right. How's everyone enjoying Sushi Tech Tokyo 2026? I hope everyone's having a great time. We only have a few more sessions on this intact stage, so I hope you all don't miss out on the fun. The next session is called Smart Cities Evolving for Citizens, Creating the Future Together with Leading Cities. Let's welcome our speakers. Yuji Yoshimura, Project Associate Professor, Research Center for Advanced Science and Technology, University of Tokyo. Ah-Kyun Kang, Director General, Seoul Metropolitan Government. Maria Vahigas, Chief Architect, Barcelona City Council. And Atsushi Deguchi, Executive Director and Vice President, Professor at Graduate School of Frontier Sciences, the University of Tokyo. Moderating this session is Mr. Yoshimura. I will hand it over to you.
All right, so thank you very much for coming to this our session. This session is about smart cities evolving for citizens, creating the future together with leading cities. I'm Yuji Yoshimura. I'm a project associate professor at the University of Tokyo, and also I'm a moderator for this session. Okay, so this session is about smart city. But first of all, I would like to ask to everybody here, including panelists and participants, what is a smart city? Because it means that what means a smart city? Because this word is very ambiguous and abstract and having its very broader meaning. That's why we don't have yet even its clear definition of this word, smart city. So instead of answering to this difficult question, what is a smart city, I would like to start from the other question. What is smart in terms of the smart city? So for this purpose, I would like to show you the short video. It is about the tram. Tram in Japanese, this is a romen densha in Barcelona at the beginning of the 20th century. It's coming. Maybe Maria, this is very, this is for you. This is Barcelona. And this is 1908 view obtained from the tranvia. This is in the Passeig Gracia. Passeig Gracia is the main road in Barcelona. At this time, tram, romen densha, was pretty innovative and new technology. So the city was not prepared for that implementation yet. Therefore, there is no traffic light, no traffic signals. There is no clear division between the vehicles and pedestrians, etc. And this is no rule at all. But as you see here, people is successfully avoiding to crash with tram, right? So they are self-organizing in a bottom-up way and makes the pedestrian flow without any problems. This is not the technology-driven management from the top down, but I think that this is pretty smart. So we could say this is a bottom-up based smart city. On the other hand, I can show you another example of the video, short video. This is by the MIT Sensible City Lab, where I was belonging to previously. This is the traffic light, the video. For the future, maybe autonomous vehicles are occupying in our cities. And for that future, probably we don't need a traffic light because autonomous vehicles is communicating each other. I think this could be that the top-down driven smart city. So my question here is, which direction do we want to go for? Top-down driven smart city or bottom-up based smart city? This is not a question about the bad and good. This is our choice. Which one do we want for the future? And hypothetically, from my viewpoint, I prefer the bottom-up based smart city. And previously, I was making this kind of a project. It is the Hikage Finder. It's in English is the shadow finder. You know, during the summer in August or the July, the Japan is too hot. So I don't recommend you, Kansan and Maria, to come to Japan in July and August. You can die. It's too hot. It's really too hot. So during the summer, maybe people prefer to looking for the shadow, but where is the shadow? We don't know where is the shadow, when shadow is made. That's why for that problems, I was taking a lot of big data from the Google Street View, and then I was analyzing those data by AI. By this process, we can look for or explore the shadow in the city. This is a project, bottom-up project, I believe, to increase the citizens' quality of the life. Or another example is like this, the flying fish with AI. And this is not useful at all, nothing, but it makes us smile. And also, it enhances our quality of the life. So we are looking for this kind of a project to increase the quality of citizens' life. And now, with Professor Deguchi and other professors, we are establishing the International Academic Society of Smart City. And for that, the Smart City Kokusai, the Gakai, we are looking for what is the characteristics of the Tokyo's smart city. This is just a 60-second video, so please take a look at it and enjoy it. Okay, so until here, it is the ice break and introduction. And from now, I would like to introduce each panelist, and please introduce yourself and also explain your city, what you are doing, please. So shall we, Kansan, start from you, please?
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 서울특별시 디지털도시국장 강옥현입니다. 뜻깊은 자리에 이렇게 초대해 주셔서 감사합니다.
Good afternoon, this is Kang Ok-hyun, General Director of the Digital City Bureau at the Seoul Metropolitan Government. Thank you for inviting me to this meaningful event.
네, 서울시는 사람 중심의 AI 도시를 비전으로 죄송합니다. 네, 서울시는 사람 중심의 AI 도시를 비전으로 시민의 삶을 중심에 둔 스마트 도시 정책을 추진하고 있습니다. 오늘은 그 주요 사례 몇 가지를 간단히 소개해 드리겠습니다.
Seoul's vision is to become a human-centered AI city. Guided by this vision, we are advancing smart city policies that place citizens' lives at the center. Today, I would like to briefly introduce some of our key examples.
네, 서울은 행정 전반에 인공지능을 도입해서 시민의 삶을 더 안전하고 편리하게 만들고 있습니다.
Seoul is applying AI across public administration to make our citizens' lives safer and more convenient.
네, 대표적인 세 가지 사례를 말씀드리겠습니다. 지능형 CCTV 기반의 스마트 안전센터, 그리고 디지털 성범죄 AI 모니터링 시스템, 그리고 디지털 포용 정책에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
Let me share three remarkable examples. First, our Smart Safety Center powered by AI-based CCTV. Second, AI monitoring for digital sex crimes. And third, our digital inclusion policy.
먼저 도시를 지키는 눈 CCTV에 대한 것입니다.
Let me begin with CCTV, the eyes that protect our city.
네, 서울의 CCTV 안전센터는 약 21만 대의 CCTV를 통합 관제하고 있고 긴급 상황 시에는 경찰과 소방으로 즉시 연계됩니다.
Seoul CCTV Safety Center monitor approximately 210,000 cameras under one integrated system, and in emergencies, they are directly connected to the police and the fire department.
네, AI 기반의 CCTV는 화재나 쓰러짐 그리고 범죄와 같은 위험 상황을 사전에 감지해서 더 빠른 대응을 가능하게 합니다.
Our AI-powered CCTV system detects risks such as fires, falls, and crimes in advance, enabling a much faster response.
네, 다음은 디지털 성범죄 대응을 위한 AI 모니터링 시스템입니다.
Next is our AI monitoring service for responding to digital sex crimes.
네, 서울시는 이 분야에 인공지능을 도입해서 불법 영상물을 24시간 이내에 자동 탐지하고 24시간 동안 자동 탐지하고 신속한 삭제를 지원합니다.
By applying AI in this area, Seoul automatically detects illegal contents around the clock and supports its swift removal.
네, 또한 상담과 법률, 심리 지원까지 통합적으로 제공하고 있습니다.
We also provide integrated support, including counseling, legal assistance, and psychological care.
네, 이러한 노력으로 모니터링 시간은 크게 단축되었고 탐지 건수도 크게 증가했습니다.
Thanks to these efforts, monitoring time has been significantly reduced, and the number of cases detected has risen considerably.
네, 이러한 성과를 바탕으로 서울시는 2024년도에 UN 퍼블릭 서비스 어워드를 수상한 바 있습니다.
Building on these achievements, Seoul received the 2024 UN Public Service Awards.
네, 마지막으로 디지털 포용 정책에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
Finally, let me turn into our digital inclusion policy.
네, 서울시는 디지털 동행 플라자와 디지털 안내사를 통해서 시민들이 디지털을 쉽게 이용할 수 있도록 상시 지원하고 있습니다.
Through the Seoul Inclusive Digital Plaza and our digital guides, we support citizens in using digital service with ease.
네, 특히 어르신들이 일상에서 디지털을 활용할 수 있도록 현장에서 늘 직접 도움을 드리고 있습니다.
In particular, we provide direct on-site assistance so that elders can make use of digital tools in their daily lives.
네, 서울은 기술 발전과 함께 누구도 소외되지 않는 도시를 지향하고 있습니다.
As technology advances, Seoul is building a city where no one is left behind.
네, 앞으로도 천천히 하셔도 괜찮습니다라는 마음으로 모든 시민이 함께하는 스마트 도시를 만들어 가겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Guided by the spirit of it is okay to take your time, we will continue to build a smart city where every citizen can take part. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kan-san. This is very interesting presentations. It seems very interesting. Yeah, you are using AI for protecting the city and the citizens. Especially speaking, I'm keen to you are saying that Seoul inclusive digital plaza. This means that, in my opinion, you use digital technologies, and the cyberspace, but finally you are talking about the physical public space. right? So you made a plaza and open it to everybody, focusing on the seniors and help them to come back to the society. Okay, this is very interesting. So we will come back to you later. So thank you very much. So next, Maria, do you want? Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me thank you for the invitation to be here today. I have prepared a short presentation, and let me start with an overall approach of data. Why do we need, or why is helpful data for cities? How data help us understand urban reality? So how do we understand better our present? How data improves cities management? So not only to understand the city, but also the day-by-day management, and how data helps forecasting events. And by that meaning how we can develop scenarios of hypotheses. So based on that, I will show you today 4 examples. The first one, it's on digital urbanism, how data on urban planning, how we are using this data on the city. Then I will show you an example of city management. So from the point of view of city management of the urban elements around the city, how we use data. And 2 examples of, in a way, engagement, so private-public partnerships and citizen engagement. If I go to the first one, digital urbanism, we have been able to develop through data. We have built this website where there is not only as in many cities, this idea of all the small data and information in terms of urban planning all over the city that any citizen can consult over day. But the whole thing is that how this data has been built is not a static information website. In fact, it's a website where you can find the answers for those questions that usually arise, for example, when you are thinking on either buying or renting a flat. So you have many issues and small questions. That data is organized in a way that really helps you to understand what is happening in that specific lot, in that specific property. And through this exercise, here you can see we develop a deeper understanding of this current situation of the city by creating a model, data modeling, comparing what really it's in fact built in the city and what it's the city, how does it look like if I apply the regulations. In many of our cities, regulations on place are developed later than the city was already on place. So there are certain things that are not really the same thing. So when you compare both, you can realize how much of that city, of that built space, in fact, it's legal according to the current regulation, which one comes from previous time, and all these detailed information at the plot level help us to decide future regulations on planning. We have been developing over the last 6 years these 2 models, and one here we have developed an urban atlas, which has in fact helped us analyzing the urban growth potential of the city. You can see here on the slides there are 4 images, and you can see the first one on top right, left, sorry. This is the city, and you can see different colors. Those colors represent what is above the current regulation and where still you have the capacity to build within the current regulation. But some of this potential is not feasible. I will never be able to build that. So what we have developed here is the carrying capacity of the city. Because I come from a very compact and consolidated city, which means that I don't have empty space to develop more. And we are facing an increase in population, so we need to work not so much on urban development as an expansion trend, but an intensification trend. And when you intensify an existing urban fabric, you have to think differently. You have to approach as discussing the current capacity of the city, not necessarily, like I can build as much as I want. No, there is a balance between quality of life, public facilities, capacity of the transportation network, public spaces, and so on, and the capacity of how much square meters of residential activities and so on can I build. So through this digital model, we have been able to understand the difference between the current planning, the real city, and the potential of this growth. Also, it has allowed us to, you can see here with graphics, the difference between the planning is the flat square, and then you have the real city built, and what is the difference between the two things. And also it has the fun part of all this data is that the city has been able to build a huge model, 83 square meters, that I invite you, anytime you come to the city, you can visit. It's open, and it will allow us as a tool, a physical tool, to discuss and keep talking with citizens about the development of our city. Regarding city management tools, for some years, since 2017, we have a tool that it's for city workers. They have in their pocket those who are in charge of maintenance of the urban spaces, public roads, lighting, paving, fencing, and it has allowed us to have all that data in the pocket of any city worker. And today, it has allowed us to develop a maintenance plan that we are spending more than 400 million per year just in renovating the urban elements. This is something that all the cities face, and this has been very successful, not only to improve the management of all these elements, but also to forecast how we can create and anticipate plans of investment and repair. Also, of course, Barcelona Easy Plan, this is all our cities, most of the citizens and the private sector always complains about the huge bureaucracy that they have to face when they deal with public administration. So we are developing here new tools to faster building and business licenses, to make more understandable our own regulations, and facilitating interactions with the residents. So this plan has to do with regulations, and then how do we make easier, and how we derogate and and we erase regulations when they are duplicated. So by using technological tools, we are identifying, for example, obsolete or duplicated regulations. That is something that happens in most of our cities, and how we simplify that. Also, by urban planning, there are a lot of support for private sector that you have to keep doing face-to-face, but there are other kind of procedures that you can easily use the artificial intelligence to speed them, and at the level of administration also to improve the relation with the citizens. For example, in social services, until recently, every year, if you were asking for certain subsidies for your children for the summer camps, every year you have to repeat all the procedure. Nowadays, we share at the city level a single database so that the citizens that do not have to go over and over giving us the same information. Finally, at the city engagement, we have developed two different tools. One is this Barcelona a la Buchaca, means Barcelona in your pocket. It's a very simple app that centralizes most of the services for citizens in a single access. You can complain through this app, you can pay your taxes, you can contact for different services, you can learn from procedures, and finally, also, we have this Decidim Barcelona, so we make decisions, and this is a channel for open participation, for a certain portion of the budget, it's invested according to what it's the result of these participatory processes, but also we develop through this website and through this process direct consultation with the mayor at least twice per year so that the citizens can really have this open conversation. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Maria. Very interesting presentation. So, in case of Barcelona, you are using the data and a lot of data and AI, and based on that data, you are making the evidence-based urban planning and management. I think that Barcelona is one of the top runner from the viewpoint of the open data as well. And now you are collecting a lot of data and put it in an integrated only one platform. This is what I understand from your presentations. The interesting point for me is that this is really just my point of view, really personal point of view, that you are trying to update the democratic system through the data and the platforms through the open data. And this is because the first step for the better democracy is to know the current situation of our environment and situations. And the citizens are not necessarily the professional ones. So you are trying to make it easier for them to understand the city and the city's situation for everybody, including non-professionals. This is what I understand that you have presented. Very interesting presentation. Okay, so we will come back to you later as well. Thanks. So, so final presentation from the panelist is Professor Deguchi. So please.
Yes. Thank you very much for the kind introduction, Professor Yoshimura. So it is my honor to be here together with two very excellent key speakers, keynote speakers, Kan-san and Maria-san. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to be here together with you. Okay, so my name is Deguchi. I am the executive director and the vice president and the professor on the urban design and the planning at the University of Tokyo as well. Then, so I'm working as a director of the Smart City project in the Kashiwanoha, located in the Kashiwa City, the Chiba Prefecture. Okay. The bottom pictures are the books published for the past 5 years. I worked together with my colleague professors for publication. So if you are interested in these kind of the key issues, please read that. Okay. So I would like to introduce the Smart City project in Kashiwanoha. And then Kashiwanoha Smart City, where I worked as a director, is one of the Japan's leading the smart city models. So it has been developed through collaboration among the Kashiwa City government and private, the real estate companies, and the University of Tokyo and the Chiba University, and the other private companies and the local communities, with national support, based on the concept of the Society 5.0. The goal of Kashiwanoha is to create a smart compact city centered around the railway station. And this goal, that we are working on 4 main themes. The first one is mobility, including the operation of the autonomous bus systems. The second one is energy, centered on the energy management system. The third one is a public space where attractive urban spaces are managed with technologies such as AI cameras on enhanced safety and security. The fourth one is the wellness, supporting healthy aging in response to the Japan's aging society. And let me briefly explain about the Society 5.0. Maybe some of you already be familiar with the concept. The Society 5.0 was proposed by the Japanese government in the 5th Science and Technology-based plan approved by the cabinet in the year of 2016. It presents a vision of a future society led by science and technology. The aim is to achieve the both economic growth and the resolution of social challenges through the integration of the cyberspace and the physical space. In this sense, the Society 5.0 has become an important policy foundation for Japan's smart city initiatives and for urban policy after the digital revolution. And in my laboratory, so that we are conducting the research and the practitioner project on urban planning and design that integrate the cyberspace and the physical space through the use of data. So here, I would like to show the three examples of the human flow data used at a different urban scale. At the metropolitan or the municipal scale, so that we can use the person trip data for mobile, the base station data to understand the larger scale, the movement, the patterns, such as the tourists, the flow between cities, is the left side. And in the middle, at the district scale, the GPS data can be used to identify the walkable catchment around the railway stations. On the right side, at the street scale, the LiDAR and the video data that can be used to analyze pedestrian behavior in detail. The type of solutions of the human flow data, the different according to the scale of the urban space. By using data appropriately at each scale so that we can create the urban spaces that are both high density and comfortable. So now let us look at the center of Tokyo from the perspective of the green infrastructure. So one of the most important, the current topics, so that in the development of the KK line, a section of the Metropolitan Expressway that runs around the Ginza area. The KK line is unique urban infrastructure, the structure that composed in connected the buildings across the 14 blocks. Its total length is approximately 2 kilometers. It has been operated by the private company, the Tokyo Expressway company, also known as the KK Line company as well. What makes it unique is that its maintenance, the costs, they have been covered by the revenue from the commercial facilities on the lower levels. The KK Line began full operation in the year of 1966, the last Olympic game in the year of 1964. The April 2025, last year, it was officially decommissioned. After its decommissioning, the surveys and the redevelopment work began. The plan is to transform the entire rooftop section into a pedestrian space. The target period for completing this transformation is between the 2030s and the 2040s. It's a long-term project. Okay, so this is the KK line, the social experiment observation. So yesterday and today is the third time. In the meantime of the third time, the social experience, so they're open to the public on the rooftop, the road spaces. And this is an example of the result of the measurement by the LiDAR system. Then so that we visualize the human being and so the pedestrian flows, so that on the experimental, during the experimental, social experimental period. This is another way, the expression of the measurement of the human being flow. Okay. Anyway, this kind of the result will be used to inform the design of the future permanent pedestrian space. And so that this project is expected so that to become an important example of how digital technology can support the design of attractive public spaces, okay, on KK lines. Okay. Anyway, so this is a diagram. So the y-axis is the economical growth, the x-axis is the environmental load. So that in the process of the urban development, economical development of a city is from the left bottom to the right up. But so now in that age of the carbon neutral, the needs, so that we have to change the process from right up to the left up. So that by using the digital data and the change of the human behavior. Okay. Anyway, so we need to introduce more high advance the design and the digital theater process. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much for your presentation, Professor Deguchi. And everyone knows that Kashiwanoha is one of the most important and successful smart cities in Japan. And this is not only the physical planning, but also for the management process, such as living lab or workshops. Also, in your presentation today, you mentioned the importance of the data and its feedback to the urban design, qualified urban design. And also, I'm keen to your presentation today. You mentioned the KK line, which was a previously highway, but we are converting it into the pedestrian spaces. Kansan Maria-san, this is the Japanese version of High Line in New York. And yesterday, it was open day, and actually I visited KK line and walked through the highway. That's very interesting experience for me. But I didn't know that you are collecting the data by LiDAR scanner, so maybe you got my data. Maybe you hold it. Okay, anyway. Now we have 3 panelists and we listened to their presentations. Now we have a discussion time, but we have only 5 minutes left. So I have specific two questions, if possible, to Maria. You are mentioning that the participatory budgeting in the last slide of your presentations, and probably this is used by Decidim or any kind of the platforms or data or AI. Could you explain a little bit about it, if possible?
Yeah, Decidim is it's a web page, it's a platform where we have part of our investment budget is dedicated to, let's say, a participatory budget process so that citizens can propose different projects. It's through the Decidim that there is open and transparent the process in which citizens can apply for certain projects, and among the list of that projects, a short one appears, depending on how many people is, let's say, pushing for that solution. So that, in a way, it's useful for 2 reasons. One might think that, of course, it's not the complete budget that the city is investing, that it's part of that participatory process, that not everybody participates at the end, but it's a way to engage and it's a learn in both sides, so that we develop processes to engage not the traditional citizens that appear in the open audience, but another type of citizens that they might not appear there. And also because we learn from that what are the expectations, how citizens are changing in their approaches. So in a way, all these kind of platforms, I think that they are useful because all this data is not only for taking decisions, but also to learn what's going on and how the citizens and the city in itself is changing. So we have been using for more than almost 10 years. So it also gives us a kind of understanding of the trend. So now we know that green, pacification, certain things really are the ones that are more, they are more successful than other kind of proposals.
Okay, I see. Thank you very much. This is really interesting. And you know, in the Decidim, we have in Tokyo broad listening the platforms. It's a similar digital platforms and to increase the citizen participations. And also, you mentioned the Barcelona in the pockets. That's an application for the integrated platforms. Also in Tokyo, we have a Tokyo app application. I don't know the exact name, but the Tokyo is intending the same, the types of the platforms. So we can exchange more the information to make the cities better together. Okay, so we have only 3 minutes, so I have to summarize today's discussions already. Okay, today, so we have 3 panelists from Seoul, Barcelona, and Tokyo, and we discussed smart city and its case from each city. And I think that the common aspect among us is to use the digital technology, including AI, but it's for increasing the citizens' quality of life, not completely top-down driven smart city. This is a common point between us. And also I would say that the important point is to exchange the information and to share those information between different cities. And I think that it makes the city better, and we all together consider how we can develop the smart city together with the citizens. In the academic field, we are always saying that a good question is always better than the good answer. Okay, so I want to finish that just 4 words. I would like to ask to all audience here, including the panelists and the audience here about now and in your home as well. Please consider what is a smart city, which you imagine for the future, and also which kind of the city do you want to live in for your future. And also please consider, this is very important for us, what is Tokyo's smart city? I would like to finish our session here, and thank you very much for all panelists and all participants here. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all of our speakers. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you very much for a great panel.